Two things that we didn't really talk about yesterday, two types of factoring we didn't talk about yesterday are take stuff out and square minus square. So you should always check first, can I take stuff out? We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but what could I divide both of these by? 5, and they both have at least one x. So what you do is you put a 5x in front, and then in parentheses you put what's left if I divide these by 5x. It's kind of the reverse of distribute. We're undistributing the 5x. We're dividing 5x. What's this divided by 5x? X. Right. 5 divided by 5 is 1. X squared divided by x is x. Basically, you subtract the exponents. Invisible 1 exponent. 1x is just x. Negative 20 divided by 5 is
4.
Minus 4, and then x divided by x is 1 times 4 is 4, so just x's go away. Okay, if I distributed this out, what should I get?
5x squared minus 4.
That. Okay. We're not really doing much of that today. It'll be a little bit all over the place, but mostly the new thing is, well, the new old thing is a square minus a square. Okay, what do I mean by a square? A square is something that when you square it equals that. So x squared is squared because it's a square x. 16 is a square number because what squared equals 16? 4. So if it's a square minus a square, it'll fit this pattern. Okay, what goes into x squared? X and x. What goes into negative 16?
Negative 4 and 4.
Okay, and it'll always be that. It won't be 8 and 2. It won't be anything else. It'll be the plus or minus 4. Got it? Okay, well let's look at number 1, see if we got it. 16n squared minus 9. Is that a square minus a square?
Yes.
Yes, because what squared equals 16n squared? What times what equals 16n?
4n.
4n times 4n. And then plus 3 minus 3. So they almost look identical, right? The only difference is there's 1 plus and 1 minus. And notice I said it's a square minus a square. If this had been a plus, nothing happened. You can't factor it. I wonder if one of the evens is like that now that I say that. I don't see one. Okay. Might not happen on this worksheet, but if it was a plus, it wouldn't work. Number 3. So this first part, this is kind of about, this page is kind of about twins. You guys remember these from yesterday though, with the number on the front? Like what goes into 16n squared?
4.
Okay, yesterday it could have been like 8n and 2n, or 16n and 1n. We had to try and see what worked. Today you can kind of cheat a little bit. It's going to be the ones that are identical. So it's going to be 4n and 4n. Go into that.
It's B, but that doesn't matter.
Oh, it's a B?
It don't matter.
Okay, so 4b and 4b. And in the back, what goes into 25?
Plus 1.
Okay, 5 and 5. Now is that, you guys remember how we checked this yesterday?
Outside is.
The outside is 4 times 5, 20b, and 20b make 40b. Is that what I wanted?
No, you need negatives.
No, I needed negative, so I should have been using
Minus.
the minuses instead of the pluses.
Sorry.
Oh wait, no, that's just.
Yeah, sorry. Number 5. 9x squared. But can I forgive myself? Alright. So this is a what kind?
Whatever it's called.
Square.
Square minus a square. Because what squared equals 1? 1. Okay, so what's gonna go in front?
1.
3x.
3x and 3x. That goes into 9x squared. What goes into -1?
-1 and -1.
-1 and
Positive.
+1.
I'm sorry.
Does the order matter?
No.
No, does not. Order of multiplication does not matter. Number 9, K4 minus 36. This is a square minus a square because what times what equals K to the 4th?
Skipped 7. That's 9.
It's literally the same thing.
Exact same thing from yesterday. What goes into K to the 4th?
K squared.
We've got, I can't see a 7.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, what goes into -36?
-6 positive 6.
Here's a question, is this a square minus a square? Right here?
No, yes.
What times what equals?
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah, it doesn't work. 3 times 3 is 9, not 6, so it doesn't. By the way, if this was a 9 though, we would have to factor this again.
Oh.
As might happen, I didn't really look. Number 7. Okay, looks like a square minus square. What goes into the 4th? N squared times n squared. Remember when you're multiplying letters, variables, you add the exponents. N2 times N2 is N4. Okay, what goes into -100?
-10.
-10,
Plus 10.
+10.
Where is it? What 11?
Do 9 again because it was so fun.
Are you good there?
We still don't drop my calculator.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we dropped your calculator.
Which was?
I think you were good.
In a 30 yeah, sarcastically. Number 11. You were the one mocking.
What?
What should we do first on 11? What do you guys think?
Split 90 and squared out.
Okay, we can take something out. What comes out of both of those?
2.
2. How can we tell a 2 comes out? Because they're both even numbers. First one ends in an 8, the other one ends in a 0. That means 2 is going to come out. If I take a 2 out, what will be left?
49 n squared.
Divide by 2, you get 49
Minus 100.
n squared minus 100. Guess what?
Whoa, that's crazy.
Okay, what the leftover is now a square minus a square. Because what squared equals 49?
9. Or 7.
7. So we got 7n and 7n on the front. Notice I did not throw this 2 away. You gotta keep it out there. I have to take half off, you don't. And then what?
Minus 10.
Yeah, we already did the 100 thing. Does something come out of 13? Looks like this page takes stuff out, a lot of it. What can we take out on 13, you guys think?
Probably like 4.
You probably want to look at the smaller number first. Yeah, what goes into 36? 9, 6, 4. 9 and 6 do not go into 400. It is 4. If you weren't sure, like, you think 4 comes out of both of them, so if you take 4 out, you'd be left with this, right? If you did not get the right number to take out, there would still be something that would go into these 2. Does that make sense? So let's say I took a 2 out. I thought, well, they're both even, so 2 comes out, which is true. But if I took a 2 out, I would get this, which, what comes out of these 2? Another 2 comes out of these 2. So 2 times 2, anyway. If you don't take enough out, you should still be able to see something would have come out there. Plus now we've got a square minus a square. This one might fool you though, because it's kind of backwards. What am I going to put in the front? 10 and What goes into 100? 10 times 10. What goes into negative 9v squared? Minus 3v plus 3v. So the 10s are both positive.
Is it possible to not get a square with my or whatever?
Possibly. I doubt it's gonna happen on this.
On 12 I didn't get.
On 12, it's not a square minus a square, it's 3-term factoring.
Oh.
On 12, I would take a 3 out, and also I would reverse the order, because usually the b squared's up front, right? So you take a 3 out, and then put the b squared in the front, so it's like a normal order. And it will factor again. It'll be, 12 is kind of like the easier version of number 15, so we're almost about to do one like 12. What could I take out on 15?
10.
Looks like a 10 will come out because they all end in a 0. So if we divide all those by 10, we get n squared plus 10. Okay. In parentheses, we have a 3-term factoring, not a square minus a square. So what goes in the front? What goes into n squared? N times n. What goes into 25? In this case, we'll always also add up to 10. You guys know how the book would write this one? Well, if we were doing the book and this was an odd, they would put n plus 5 squared. Do you have to do that? No, but. $17. This feels like a repeat. I feel like we've done all these already. Okay, can we take anything out? No. The only thing that goes into 49 is like 7, so that's not going to work for 100. The only thing that goes into 100 are factors, are like multiples of 2 and 5. Anyways, square minus square, right? What goes into 49? 7 and 7. What goes into negative 100? Negative 10 plus 10. Alright, can we take anything out on 19? 10. 10. P. Yeah, I gotta watch out for those letters. They both have at least a P or whatever, you have to take that out. So if I divide by 10P, what's 10P cubed divided by 10P?
Squared.
P squared. Right, basically we're just subtracting 1P out from the exponent. So it's down to P2 minus, if we divide a 10 out, the 0 drops off, and P divided by P, the P's cancel out. What do you think? Is that a square minus a square?
I think so.
Probably, right? I don't suppose anybody anybody knows what goes into 196?
Is it 13?
That is 169.
14.
This one is 14. Oh boy. But how would you do it on your calculator? How would you figure it out real quick? Square root of 196. Yeah, if you plug this in your calculator, that tells you what times what. What squared equals that. Okay. Last one on this page. Can we take anything out of 81 and 900?
9.
9 times 9. Anyway, yeah, let's take a 9 out. Any letters come out of that?
V squared.
You're right. They both have at least a v squared. So we can take a v squared out. Now, if we divide the first term by 9v squared, what will we have left? 9v squared. 81 divided by 9 is 9. V4 divided by v squared is v squared. Minus 100, or 900 divided by 9 is 100. And then v squared divided by v,
Oh, that's right.
v squared is course it's another square. Square minus a square. I think the book calls it difference of squares or something like that. I don't even know if the book mentions this, but anyway, 9b squared comes from 3b times 3b. And 100, we've had this a lot of times, would be negative 10 plus 10. All right. On to the challenging. Nothing is new on the third page. It's just kind of a combo. Mostly it's yesterday's stuff. Anyways, number 1. Okay, it says x squared minus 7x. You guys remember how we did this one yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, what goes in x squared? And then on the back, what multiplies into negative 18, that would also add up to negative 7.
Positive 9, negative 2.
Close. Well, 9 and 2 goes into...
Oh, minus 9, negative 2.
Right. To add up to a negative 7, we would need the bigger of these two to be negative. So it's, yeah, negative 9 and positive 2. Natalie, am I in your way? Are you seeing over there?
I got it down.
I can be in Reagan's way for a while. We'll take turns. All right. So, what goes into m squared? All right. What multiplies into a? I feel like we did this one yesterday. That adds up to negative 9.
1 and 8.
1 and a, but they have to add up to negative 9. So
Negative 8.
negative, negative. The two negatives multiply to positive 8, but they add up to negative 9. Number 5, uh-oh. So on 5, I would check and make sure, does anything come out on number 5? Can we take anything out of all those? No. 31 is prime. That means nothing goes into it except for like itself. Anyway, nothing come out. So this is the harder version because there's a number on the front. What goes into 7x squared?
3.5.
No,
Nothing.
we're not doing decimals.
Nothing.
Okay, it's not. This is not like the front page where it's going to be identical.
7x plus x.
7x times x.
Oh, yeah.
It's more like yesterday, not the new thing. And in the back, you say what goes into negative 20. We got a couple options. What can go into negative 20? Like 5 and negative 4, negative 5 and 4, or whatever. Could be 10 and negative 2, 20 and negative 1. Probably not that one. So we're gonna guess. Which one do you guys want to try?
Negative 4 and positive 5.
Well, you're close. You already know that?
No.
I thought maybe you were looking ahead. Okay, that's a pretty good guess. How did we check this yesterday?
Outside inside.
Outside of the foil is 35x. Inside is minus 4x, which together makes 31x. Is that what we wanted?
No.
Close. If you get the right number but the wrong sign, positive instead of negative, you need to switch your positives and negatives. So I'm going to make this a plus 4x and this one a minus 5. Sorry, just a plus 4. Is this as bad as you remembered it being in Algebra 1?
Yes.
Liar.
Not a liar, but it'd be hard. It's not necessarily
easy. I said as bad.
It's honestly the factoring part that I don't like, is that I'm not good at figuring out which numbers go in, and they take twice as long as a regular.
Yeah. Okay, this one kind of looks like the last one. Can we take anything out? No. What goes into 7x squared? Okay, there's not a lot of things that go into 28. What's the first thing that comes to mind? 7 and 4. One of them would have to be negative, so I'll just guess. And it could be like 2 and 14. Which one do you guys want to try?
-7, -4.
Well, if you use
Or
negative,
-4,
you want to try -4, -7? It'd have to be -4, +7 though, because to multiply to get a negative
Oh, yeah.
one. Okay. Then you're kind of the same thing that happened last time. So the outside is now 49x, and the inside is -4x. Which equals 45x, which is almost what we wanted, so
Switch the sign.
we got the plus and minus backwards again. Okay, last
They're
one.
watching one of those that signs against our
They're being a little bit nicer to us than yesterday because when they put a prime on the front, there's only one thing that goes into that. What goes into 5p squared?
5p.
5p times p. That's like the only option. Yesterday we had like 4x squared, so it could have been 4x and x, or 2x and 2x. That made it harder to figure out. In the back, what goes into -18? Got a couple options here.
9 and 2.
Could be 9 and 2. One of them has to be negative.
3.
Could be 3 and 6. Probably not 18 and 1. Yesterday we had some of those, but not likely. Alright, which one do you want to try?
-6, +3.
Okay, I think Xander's working ahead here.
I'm not. I just like did it kind of in my head a little.
Okay, actually you're wrong this time.
Well,
So this one, you gave a very specific answer, so I thought you maybe figured it out. This one is 15 minus 6, which is 9. So that's not going to work. So I wouldn't throw away the 3 and the 6 though. I would try switching them first. Although in this case, that's not going to really help. Now it's -30 plus 3. What are we trying to get it to add up to? -1. Okay, so the 3 and the 6 were a fail. So let's try 9 and 2. Now the outside is -10. And the inside is 9, which adds up to
you knew that was
-1.
the answer. You cheated. You
Well,
wanted
we
it.
tried like 3 out of 4 things, so it's not like we jumped right to it.
Work forever.
Wait, I wasn't done.
That was just the work, sorry. There's a mess, it's bugging me.